get ready,
for another day.
No one can stop us. Oh, we gon' learn to play.
Oh, every day we learn and play. We do our best, so we'll be great.
Oh, 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 oh. You do your best, best.
And I'll do mine.
Right. So let's get ready.
Cause it's about that time.
Good morning, morning, you. Good morning, how do you do? Good morning, time to be great. Good morning, good morning.
Your hands and play. So start to day.
Open your eyes.
Reach for the sky.
Good morning, 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 morning to you. Good morning, 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 how do you do? Good morning, 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 morning to you. Good morning, 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 how do you do?
Good morning.
You see me on my grind,
Woo, stars got to shine.
I'm a supernova.
Yeah, you see me taking over. Yeah.
I'm on the move. I got a way to stride to it. So let me hear you say, every day we gon' learn and play.
Hey y'all, hey, good morning. Today is Monday. It's the third week in March 22nd. Monday, we are still in Sisters with Superpowers. Sisters with Superpowers, but we're still in Women's History Month, y'all. So, good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Women's History Month to all of the history makers out there, to all of the women out there. We make history every day. Okay, let's not get that twisted. But good morning to everyone. I'm happy I woke up today. Y'all, I got up. I did my workout. I did my praise, pray, and Pilates. So I'm back on track. Sometimes, we fall down, but we get up. I got up this morning. So I just wanted to let y'all know that we are still with Sisters with Superpower. Before I forget, our event is this week. Can y'all believe it? Oh my gosh. Event is this week. Friday and Saturday, and then we're gonna end the weekend with a brunch curated by our very own pop soul critic Esau Harris. I thought that, and that was my mistake. If y'all seen on the website that he was going to be here today, no, it's tomorrow. Esau will be joining us tomorrow. He is curating the Bevy Smith brunch, and he's going to be here tomorrow with us. And the email clearly said Tuesday, and yep, somebody made it for Monday. um, but Esau will be with us on Tuesday. He's going to be talking about the Black Book Brunch that he's curating with Bevy Smith. Of course, Bevy Smith is releasing her debut memoir, Bevelations. And so we're going to be talking to her about that on Sunday. But on Friday and Saturday, we have our conference. We have some great panel discussions taking place. Of course, one is the Seagram's sponsored event with Cynthia Bailey. We got Kadeen Ellis. We have Monique Rodriguez. Monique Rodriguez is the CEO of Mael Organics. And then we also have Africa Miranda, who is going to be moderating. She's a beautypreneur and an entrepreneur, as well as an author. So I can't wait for that. Um, and we'll bring up the flyers a little later. But we got some. Oh, here it is, right here, right on time. So Kadeen Ellis is an actress, and she has a very famous Instagram family. Her husband's name is DeVale Atlas, and he acts, and they have their own Instagram shows. They have three adorable little boys, and she's going to be talking to us about balancing entrepreneurship, motherhood, being a wife, being a boss, just all of it during our cocktails and conversations panel session that we're going to have on Friday. And then, of course, Africa Miranda, she's going to be the moderator. She's a beautypreneur. She does a lot of travel stuff as well. Um, and she's also an author. I believe she just released her book last year, so we'll talk to her about that. You guys know everybody. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on because here's the here's a flyer with Sisters with Superpowers celebrating powerful women in business, culture, and community. And if I was remiss in mentioning the fact that this is complimentary for everyone this month, I know sometimes we charge for it, but this month we saw it fit to make sure that everyone was available to attend. Not only women, men can attend too. Um, you can register at peaceandpurpose.co. Make sure you do because space is limited, and they are going fast. But like I said, you guys do not want to miss some of these amazing panel discussions. Friday and Saturday, followed up on Sunday by the Bevy Smith Black Book Brunch. And we need to get a count on that. I'm not exactly sure where we are, but I know the space for that one is very limited. And so you can register for that one at www.rollingout.com/books, rollingout.com/books. And you see right here is our very own Esau Harris, pop culture critic. He's going to be talking about Bevy Smith on Sunday, March 28th, which also happens to be my baby's birthday. So, y'all, make sure y'all tune in for that, okay? While we're still on the subject, I don't know how much time I got before we go to a break. I need to ask the producer, but while we are still on the subject, let's actually get into one of our sisters with superpowers. Her name is Carolyn J Bermudez, and she is one of our sisters with superpowers. You can find all of our sisters with superpowers on our website, rollingout.com, and find amazing stories of amazing women and find out what makes them super women. So Carolyn J Bermudez, she fuels Black excellence by leading a major utility company. She is going to be at Sisters with Superpower. And I am going to find out the name of her session in just a second so I can let you guys know. But Carolyn J Bermudez, she was born and raised in South Carolina. She earned her bachelor's degree in business administration from South Carolina State. She is a strategic and accomplished energy leader with more than 30 years of natural gas utility experience and operations. Somebody tell me that is a lie because she does not look like she has 30 years of experience. So she has 30 years of experience in operations, financial analysis, regulatory affairs, customer relations, and systems integrations. Today, she is the president of Georgia Operations at Liberty Utilities, an investor-owned regulated natural gas utility headquartered in Columbus, Georgia. In her role with Liberty, she serves approximately 55,000 customers. So that is definitely something to be proud of, y'all. I'm just saying. She says that her superpower is, she considers it to be her mental and emotional strength. She says, my strength is essential in managing my responsibilities as a wife, mother, and president of a natural gas utility company. Listen, I don't know how she does all of that. Hey girl, hey. She also says, she says, a thoughtful and encouraging piece of advice that she would give her younger self would be to believe in herself and be comfortable being uncomfortable. That is some great, great advice. So you can go check out her story on the site. That is Carolyn J Bermudez. She juggles being a wife, a mother, and a president of a utility company serving over 55,000 people. Kudos to that sister with superpowers. She will be at our conference, and I'm going to tell y'all the name of her session when we get back. We'll be back after the break. Hey, Tiara.
Good morning. I love your earrings.
Thank you.
If doctors, nurses, and grocery store clerks can wear a mask for 10 or 12-hour shifts, you can wear a mask for an hour or less when you go to the store. Do your part. Mask up, America.
What's more dangerous? A man who isn't afraid of death or one who's found everything to live for? I asked him if he was proud of me. He emphatically said yes, as he laid his pecan-colored head on my chest, and I went through my mind 1,000 times to figure out what that could possibly mean, and every single example ended in motivation for me. So you may not be afraid to die, but I'm more afraid to let them down. And I found something to live for, which is a dangerous motive forever fueled. See, your thoughts may be involuntary, but my actions are very calculated. I was a man with a plan, but now I'm a dad with a decree, and you can't take that from me. My sons ain't raised by no coward, and they won't be one either. If this be the measure of a man, the yardstick gonna need way more meters. I take it too far, so they never come up short, because I found everything to live for.
America, land of the free. It's at the core of who we are. Freedom. The freedom to live without fear, to drive through all 50 states, to sleep safely in our own beds, the freedom to jog where we please, to watch birds in the park, to wear a hoodie, the freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because no matter your religion, gender, disability, age, race, all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
Hey y'all, hey, welcome back. I looked up the name of that session so I could tell y'all. And I got distracted. But Bermuda, her last name is Bermudez. Yes, Carolyn J Bermudez. I'm gonna tell y'all in just a second.
Hispanic?
Yes. Maybe she is married to someone that is Hispanic.
Latina.
Latin.
Latinx. That's the term, Latinx.
Okay, so the name of her session is The Value and Role of Community Investment. The value and role of community investment. So glad we got through that, girl. Good morning, Tiara. What's good? It's Monday, girl.
Good morning. It is Monday, and it is finally spring, and I think I am just still getting used to these time patterns. I will be up all night and then struggle to get up in the morning, or do just the opposite, get up real early and then be ready for bed at 5 o'clock. But it's officially spring, starting Saturday, March 20th, so I'm excited about that. Some people think that the new year starts in spring because of the spring equinox. Some people prefer to have New Year's resolutions and act like it's just a whole new year because spring is here.
Spring has definitely sprung. I am happy. But I remember I told y'all about 3 weeks ago I started hearing the birds. I was like, spring? Is that you? So the birds are definitely out. I love to hear them. They actually wake me up in the morning, and it's so, I don't know. It's interesting to me that 5 o'clock on the dot, 5 a.m. in the morning on the dot, they up chirping like it never fails. So I'm
Hmm.
happy.
Yeah, I read a thing about birds. I guess I'm like a bird watcher, maybe, I don't know. But I read a thing saying that birds actually have patterns. So when you hear birds singing and then they sing at the same time every morning, it's because they sync up to do that. So when you hear them like pattern and they say it or sing again every 20 seconds, they actually learn music that way, and they will do that every single day out of routine.
Really? That's
Hmm.
interesting.
So you got a
Can you
daily concert over there.
I do. I love it. It's beautiful. It's still really, really dark. But I know what time it is
Hmm.
by the bird. And I still
Hmm.
lay there and I go back to sleep. I need to start getting up. I need to start getting up. I said I was gonna get up this morning and do. I have an elliptical upstairs as well. It's not my Peloton. Peloton is still coming.
Hmm.
Don't ask me about that. But
Hmm.
I have an elliptical upstairs, and I said I was gonna start riding it. And so I have carpet in my bedroom. It's anyway. And when you put your exercise machine on carpet, it's wobbly, it's not really stable. So I didn't really like it,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't feel safe, right? Because it's not one of those industrial ellipticals that you find at the gym. It's just one of those put that together real quick because all it cost was $100 type of thing. And so
Mm-hmm.
I was leaning and all that. I was like, okay, I don't feel safe on this. But what I did was I bought a mat, a hard plastic mat, and I put it under it, and it's more stable now. So I
Okay.
said that I was going to get my butt up and do that this morning at 5 o'clock, but I went back to sleep after I heard the birds.
Mm,
So, but I
yeah.
did manage to do
Blame it
Pilates.
on
I got my.
blame it on the time change. It's the time change still.
I was lazy this morning. I should have got up. It was. How the hell?
Good morning, Glam.
Good
I know
morning.
that's right.
Wait,
Somebody woke
wait,
up early enough to be ready
wait,
to be ready
wait
because
a
she ready.
minute. Wait a minute. I'm about to start my song. Wait a minute. Wait. One. Oh, who is this? Who we got on our call, Tiara?
Good
Whatever,
morning.
Portia. Good morning.
What's
Good
up,
morning.
gorgeous?
You got
Somebody
plans
get
today?
Oh God, yes, all day.
okay.
Good times.
Yeah.
No, I'm doing
You look
an event
beautiful.
with like some young people that I'm doing interns with all day today.
Oh, good.
So yeah, how was y'all weekend?
You look beautiful. That's all
It
I'm
was
gonna say, girl. That's
Thank you.
taking that next step.
It was good. It
We
was
can.
chill. Weather here is great.
Yeah. How's yours,
Hmm.
Yeah,
Portia?
it was cool. I took it easy. Like I have so spring is like my natural alarm to kind of declutter my spaces, right? So I want to declutter everything. And it's not necessarily decluttering as it is more so organizing. And so
Mm.
that's what I spent my weekend doing. Just kind of organizing. I got a whole bunch of stuff. I'm giving stuff away. My jewelry, I got to make sure that I know what's what and where it is and that type of thing. So I did that all weekend. I listened to new music. I put my TV on YouTube and I just listened to new music and watched movies and cleaned and decluttered. What about you?
Have you ever thought about creating your own closet where people come in and buy like all of the stuff you don't want, but you do it
I
online?
need I need to do that. I
Like
have
a
not. I was just
Poshmark.
gonna give it away to the shelters. I
Oh,
can
okay.
do that
Because I
too.
know a lot of people. I just thought about doing that too. All the stuff that I know I'm never gonna wear. You put it online, and it's called like it could be Portia's Closet, and then you sell it for whatever
Mhm.
you want to sell it for. But people buying it. My homegirl has one, and her stuff like sold out in like 3 days. Everything.
But
People
what
really
she
do
got?
shop
She
on
got.
those websites.
She did like jewelry. She did jewelry, clothes, and shoes. Like all of her
I
stuff
got
in
a,
her closet, she didn't want.
I got a whole bunch of
You
new
never know.
shoes. that I've
Yeah,
never
that's what she
worn.
said. She said she was surprised that like that many people came and got the stuff that she didn't want.
How does she advertise for it?
It's an app that you go on there and it's like, what's your
Yeah, it's a
closet or
couple
something?
websites.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you just build it. You
Mm-mm.
just take a picture of your stuff and put whatever price you want on there.
I know
Girl,
my
give me
friend,
that.
she uses
I'm
Poshmark
gonna do
all
that.
the time.
Really?
And
Poshmark.
she goes back and forth to the post office. It's another one too besides Poshmark. Thinking of the name.
I'll ask her the name. I'm gonna text her and ask her the name because I know she did
Yeah,
really well in 3.
that's what I need right there because I bagged up 2 big old bags of stuff and I'm like, I'm gonna just go ahead and call somebody and have them come pick it up. Because you know, the shelters and whatnot, they'll do that. They'll
Yeah.
come pick up your stuff. So I might have to go through it
Mm-hmm.
again and be like, hey, because there was some stuff with price tags on it. I'm gonna go through it and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
look at the price tags. Everything else, I'm gonna leave.
Yeah,
That's
because
a
some of
good
that stuff you
idea.
can get your money back from.
Yep. Or more.
Yeah, I think it's gonna take me the whole spring to go through my closet. Jesus.
I'm sure of
Oh,
it.
my closet's a mess.
Mine too, it's a mess. A mess. Like,
I
cause you
think
don't
it's
so
hard
much.
because yeah, and then with the way for me it's the pandemic. Like either wear a lot of my favorite stuff a lot, or stuff that I barely wear is all the way in the back because I have the stuff that I wear normally is what I just wash and put away. So when I like remember that I have something I haven't worn just because I haven't been going out or wearing my clothes as normally as I wear my clothes. So I'll see something like, oh my gosh, I have this, but it's all the way in the back of the closet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking to my mama about this yesterday, and I was like, because normally I let her look through my stuff and let her take out some stuff that she wants. This time I didn't. I'm like, you got way too much stuff that you don't even wear. Like I need to go through her closet too and put some of her stuff up. But she don't even wear it, and I'm like, I'm not giving you nothing else so that you can add to your closet of full of brand new
Mm-hmm.
stuff that you have not worn because of the pandemic. So I don't know. But I told her, I was like, listen, you need to wear your stuff. I try to wear mine. I try to go through my stuff, the stuff that I can still fit, and be like, I'm gonna wear this on the show. I'm wearing this on the show
Mm-hmm.
because it's not like we got a lot of places to go. I'm gonna start though. I'm gonna start back traveling.
Me too.
I
I
want to
can't
say good
wait.
girl. Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming with you to Miami. I'm trying to go to Miami with everybody.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
Miami on
I
a
looked up
curfew now.
tickets yesterday, $50. I was like, I'm about to be in
They on a
Miami next week
curfew.
with them.
8
Fifty
Yeah,
p.m.
dollars
they
one
until
said they
way.
spring
on 8 p.m. curfew.
spring break is
Mm-hmm.
over. I'm
I
Oh,
got
sure.
okay.
friends down there like, what am I gonna do? They down there now, just in a hotel room at 8 o'clock.
I also doggone videos going around. Have y'all seen the videos circulating of
Yeah.
Miami?
Mm-hmm.
Like Freaknik. If y'all went to Freaknik,
Yeah,
yeah, you might be remember Freaknik.
it makes me
What
miss
is
because last year the pandemic hit during spring break, like the day before we were supposed to fly to Miami. I'm thinking it's senior year, we about to go to Miami. Everything shut down like the day right before we left. And now it's back open. So it definitely reminds me of 2018 and 2019 and all the fun that we had. Miami was
I
fun though.
figured it
I don't blame them for going. I don't blame them for going.
I
what were
figured
you
it was
saying?
gonna be like that. Once it opened back up, this their first spring break that they can go and have a good time. It's like what was expected. It's Miami.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. Yeah, and then if you don't have a passport, it's not like you can run your butt up out of the country because that's what I'd be trying to do if I
And
was
And it's
in
everybody already
Florida.
affordable. Mm-hmm. People took they whatever little stimulus that they got and they went right down to the beach. Hey
oh, I
y'all.
They
forgot
call
everybody got their
Good morning.
stimulus.
Mm-hmm.
it ain't
And
hit my
I
account.
told you I looked it up. Southwest, $50. So
Oh
if
Lord.
Wow.
you want to go to
What it flies
Miami
to
from
Fort
Atlanta
Lauderdale?
one way, it's $50. No, they now have a Miami port. So you can fly right
Get
into
out of
Miami
here.
now from Southwest. They just opened it up like 2 months ago. $50 is
What?
I was like, hey y'all, what we doing?
It's $50 round trip
No, one
or
way.
one way. I want to say we haven't spoken to Facebook this morning, y'all. Good morning to Facebook. Hey, Stacy Merrill is on. Terrence Simmons, China Doll. China Doll says wellness and good blessings, friends. Good day to all
Good
of you.
morning.
Love and respect from
Good
Bakersfield,
morning.
California. Happy Women's Day. Listen, China be up. Go ahead, China. We appreciate you being up at 5 o'clock in the morning to check in with the Rolling Out AM wake up call. Shirley Carter. Good morning, Shirley Carter from beautiful Philadelphia. Hey, Stacy. Hey, Jacqueline Evans. She'll say good morning from Colorado. She said it's cold. She said it's cold. She bundled up in
I
layers.
bet it
Good
is.
morning to Tammy Berry. Hey, Ma. Hey. Iris Baker, good morning. Kathleen Coleman, good morning. D Shit, look, we didn't say good morning to none of these people. That's why it's so many. D Shield said go to Poshmark. All right. Kathleen said, please be careful. Miami is a super spreader. Hold on, Stacy. Y'all need a yacht? Yes. Yes, Stacy, we need a yacht.
Yes. You the plug,
Let us
Stacy.
know. Okay. Stacy, let us know. I'll be talking to you later on today. Let me know. Uh, Kathleen said the variants ain't no joke. It was out of control in Miami. Kim Taylor says, good morning, everyone. Looking good, ladies. All right. And then Shamika. Hey, Shamika. Good morning. Good morning to Facebook, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. But yeah, so Ebony needs to give us an update on her Miami restaurant. What we doing? What we doing?
Oh my goodness, Portia, it's been so crazy. I got to go back down there and finish up like the paperwork and all of that. But we've been so busy in Atlanta. Like I can't even believe the
Mhm.
support that I mean, it's just crazy. Um Yesterday we were so busy. Like it's almost like every day we're busy now.
Wow.
So I haven't been back because I now cherish my Mondays a little different. So we're so busy, I love it, but I just haven't had a chance to go back. But I'm definitely going back next week to finish everything up, so that way we can kind of have a deadline. But Miami, a lot of their like their city hall, it's not like here in Atlanta where you can go to the city hall. Mm-mm. They appointments like 4 or 5 weeks out, so it's just really really
Mm.
different. Yeah, it's really different.
Wow.
Wow.
And so,
I
for
wonder why.
everybody that's watching that may not know,
Hmm.
tell everyone the name of your business says your restaurants anyway, and tell them where they're located.
So I have Nuvo. It's located in College Park. I'm actually getting ready to open up a location in Midtown within the next 2 months.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm excited. And then I'm getting ready to open up another one on the south side of Georgia as well. Within both of them should open up around the same time.
All right,
Amazing. I can't wait for that one.
girl. So
I live right by
we gonna
Atlantic Station, so let me know.
Do
so
you? Oh yeah, it's
producer
Yes.
said
coming soon.
what
Yes,
city?
it's coming soon.
Hmm.
Producer TJ said which cities are they gonna be in? He said the cities. Say the cities.
One's in Midtown, and the other one, we're looking more so to Jonesboro.
Atlanta and
So,
Georgia. Jonesboro, Georgia. Is the
Yeah,
name of
and
the
then
city Midtown?
South Side and
Midtown.
Midtown.
it's in
No, the
Atlanta.
name is
Midtown.
Atlanta, but it's just
It's in
Midtown
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Just to
And then
see.
that's hot. We're gonna have to do some
That's
sessions.
nice.
You okay? So we need some tips on how to number one get your first one, and then number two replicate and get the second, third, and fourth one. Cause you on your fourth one, right? Is it four?
This will be my Miami will make my fourth one. But I
Hmm.
started my first one in 2019. Again, I had never had a restaurant, but I did hire a consultant. But I had the opportunity to see like my mother when I was younger. She had a small restaurant. It was like a little hut, like you couldn't sit down and eat.
Hmm.
Um, it was like smack in the hood behind my church. But
Those
I
be the
got a chance to
best.
see how it was. Yes, oh my God. You go get you a taco, go home, kick it. Yep.
Hmm.
And so I got a chance to see her run hers, but I also worked in corporate America for 12 years as a business development manager. And so I opened up Godivas all around, even in
Oh
Lenox,
wow.
Lenox Mall, all of the ones in Chicago, Ohio, New York, pretty much you name it. So I
Hmm.
learned a lot from that. And then I hired a consultant. I think that's key too. just having somebody that knows the ins and out of the business so that you don't make
Mm-hmm.
those same mistakes they made. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like your little
Mhm.
guide, your little guidebook. And so I hired a consultant and I also hired a kitchen consultant because I knew how to cook, but I didn't know how to make my recipes in bulk because
Mm-hmm.
they're
Mhm.
totally
Mhm.
and so I gave them my recipes and then they made them out in bulk. Because you got to think about it. You used to cooking for 3 and 4 people. Now you cooking for 300 and 400
Right.
people a day. It's so different. Um, and so I
Mhm.
think my consultants were really a big help. And I'm in my business, so I'm there 6 days a week for the most of it. So a lot of the kids,
Wow.
you really have to be there in the beginning. It's a baby. It's a newborn. So you have to like nurture it. I'm there
Mhm.
to see what my staff is doing to make sure that they're doing the right thing. I'm there helping them as well. So some days I'm helping my service, some days I'm helping them bust tables. A lot of days I'm in the kitchen. But I'm very involved, and I think that's key. Anything you do every day, you're gonna perfect it. That's just the bottom line. With
Right.
hard work, you can't do nothing but perfect it. You know what I'm saying? If you do something every single day, it's gonna get better
Mm-hmm.
every single day. You're gonna fail, you're gonna get back up, do something different. And I think that's just it was trial and error in the beginning, but I had a lot of guidance of certain things, and then like I said, I had already been in the retail industry for 12 years, so it made it a little bit
Mhm.
easier.
Mhm.
And you
Rest
said
of
you opened up Godiva stores. Is that what you said? Godiva chocolates?
Godiva
All
chocolates,
right.
yeah. I did that for 12
Mhm.
years. Fresh out of college, that was my career. I did it. And I loved it. I love people though. I love making sure people are good and making sure people are happy. So for me, anything that involves serving somebody else is gonna always work for me because that's who I
Mhm.
am. That's what I
Mhm.
love to do. But the restaurant industry, let me
Amazing.
tell you, it's a different animal.
It's
Yep.
It
what?
is
For sure.
different. It's different. Oh my God.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's different.
Mhm.
It's very different. You got people that love you and that comes and support, but you got the staff. You're a counselor. You're their parent. You're their. I mean, they looking for you for so many different things, and then customers. You know, they done had a bad day.
Mhm.
Saturday we had a lady who just found out her husband for 13 years had been cheating on her for 11 of those years, and she just
How
broke down
y'all
and
find that out?
because the customer
Because
was
when
in there
you get
crying.
out and you, right, when you
She
get
was in
out
there
and you
crying.
meet people that don't know
Yes.
you feel more inclined to just open up because they don't have a lot of room to judge. And you be needing to talk to somebody. You don't want to necessarily talk to somebody in your circle who know the whole situation. So she was at the bar crying and somebody asked her what happened and she spilled it. She might have been a little inebriated too.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. She had
Write
a
that whole
mimosa,
story.
was at the bar, and you could see her
Wow.
crying. I was like, "Hey, are you okay?"
Mhm.
And she just bawled out and told us, and
Oh,
it's crazy because it was with her best friend. You know,
What?
oh.
yeah, it was with her
Y'all need
best
a
friend.
reality show.
Girl,
What
listen, I'm
happened?
telling you that restaurant industry is different. You'll be
This is
surprised. It's
so.
different.
Oh.
Mhm.
It was
And then we had
so.
Trina
So
there
you
yesterday.
selling
She performed in a restaurant.
Trina?
Oh wow.
Yeah, she did.
I'm so
She did her
mad.
song.
And
She
she
did
just
two of the
celebrated
songs.
I think it was the anniversary of her album, so a lot of people were excited. We're talking about Trina over the weekend.
Yeah. She did for the baddest beat. Yep, she did.
Mhm.
A lot of people were really, really excited about it. She brought down half of Miami. She had a lot of support that came down from Miami to support her.
Ah.
So shout out
Oh,
Well,
to
yeah,
Trina.
congratulations.
Miami was busy, so she was like, "Y'all, come on, we gonna
Everybody's outside.
stimulate the
Any
economy."
city right now, we're gonna see a lot of people outside.
I
Yeah,
didn't go
people
outside
happy to get
yesterday.
out. Them stimulus checks hit. Um,
Mhm.
I love the stimulus
Yeah,
checks. They need to give them another
they
round. I love them.
need another one. So I want to check into Facebook because Facebook was checking in for you. G Shield said, I was looking at your Facebook, Ebony, for Nouveau Bar and Grill looks yummy on the list on Atlanta trip. So she's going to a restaurant as soon as she gets to Atlanta. Of course, you know, D is in Colorado. Ebony.
Thank you.
Kathleen says, go, Ebony, flex with your business on itself.
Period.
D said, yes, Queen. Tammy Berry said, "So happy for you, Ebony." She says, "Godiva is a must when I'm not sipping in my coda treats." Oh, okay, girl. And then Robert, hey Robert, we ran Robert off of the show last night from was that for the wind up? He was like, "I don't want to talk about this." But anyway, good morning, Robert. Happy to have you back. Happy Monday. And D says she's staying in something else. Yeah, so we're definitely. I love that you started your own in 2019, and we're in 2021, and you on 4. You're on number 4. You know, so we got to make sure that
Walking
we
in purpose.
share tips and tricks to the trade. You already shared a lot of them. Get you some consultants for every aspect, right? So for the business development as well as the kitchen, I think that's key too. Making sure that you know exactly how to replicate those recipes so that they taste the same, right? Because it's
It's
like
hard.
even with
Yeah.
yeah. So what was one of the tricks that they told you, or one of the tips that they gave you in terms of doing that?
So prepping is key in the restaurant industry. Prepping is key. That's the only way your food will stay consistent. When you're making stuff and you're having to make it on the fly, it's never gonna stay consistent. You got different people on the line, so they're gonna make it one way. You're gonna make it another way. So what we do is my chef, and then I have a prep person. And they're the only two people that prep in my kitchen. And of course, I know all the recipes, so I can prep if I needed to. But for the most of it, they're the only two people that prep so that it stay consistent. Because have you ever been to a restaurant and one day it's
Mm-hmm.
amazing, and you go back and
Mm-hmm.
you like, what is it? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? None of
Mm-hmm.
your meal was good. It never tastes like you had even been to that restaurant. You're like, where am I even at? So,
Right.
but people don't realize though, prepping is key and making sure your team is in a good mood. Because the mood that they're in is how your food normally tastes.
Ooh.
Believe
So
me,
how do you
they
how
in
do
a
you
good mood.
achieve
Somebody
that?
mad, they extra with the seasoning. I could
Oh
tell,
my
yeah.
goodness, I promise you. Huh?
How do you achieve that? How do you make sure that they're in a good mood? What you do?
Well,
Like
listen,
when
I
they
let my
walk in?
prep team. They listen to their favorite songs. I'm always sending them like little encouragement. The good morning, y'all have a good day. I'm really, really grateful for my team, and I say that all the time. As much as they get on my nerves, I'm really, really grateful for them because it's really hard to find people that love and support your business close to the way you do it. I've built a
Mm-hmm.
team that really, supports and love Nuvo. And so for me, I wouldn't trade them for nothing. They're like my backbone in this industry. They know when I'm having a bad day. Every day's not good for me neither. And so I like Anita Baker. So I might walk in the kitchen and they playing Anita Baker. Whereas I'll let them play the Junebug song or Junebox or whatever his name is. Yeah. And that automatically put them in a good mood. Soon to come on, they do the little dance and now they ready to cook. So I mean, I think it's just being positive. You got to have positive energy in your kitchen. Like people when they say you cook with love, like that's really real. I can tell the difference in my cooking when I'm tired at home. I can tell it, but when I'm in a good mood, oh, it's on from there. Like my food be amazing, but
Yeah.
it's in how you
Yeah.
feel.
I hope y'all
Energy.
grabbing some of these tips, and I hope y'all writing this down because she done gave y'all a whole bunch for free on the strength. So while y'all say, and it's not just stuff that you can apply to the restaurant business. This is universal stuff that you can apply to everything in life. Like when you do stuff with love, it comes out incredible. It comes out amazing. When you do stuff with love and you in a good mood, like this is for everything. It doesn't just apply to the restaurant
Hmm.
industry. So y'all better grab them notes and take them notes. I'm just saying. Stacy said, Ebony, I'll be up there this week, College Park, Main Street, right? It's on Main Street.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
Main Street. I looked at it this weekend and I was like, oh my God. When I first got it, it was just like braid shops and 2 restaurants on the entire block. Now you look at the whole strip, it's just like Peter Street all over again. Um,
Wow.
yeah,
Just
you have
growing, the
like
city growing so fast.
oh my goodness, Carly Red new spot is over there.
Who?
Johnny's Chicken and Waffle. Carly Red, her Neo and
Uh,
Crystal have a
From Love and
restaurant
Hip Hop.
together.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
Neo wife did a couple of her dishes there because they're like partners, all three of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so like she did like salmon and lamb chops and stuff like that. But it's like it's the most beautifulest thing to see when you see all of these restaurants open. I walked down a block on Saturday and every last restaurant had like a 2 hour wait. Like that's
Oh
amazing.
wow.
So for me, it's just like to see other black owned business thrive like that. It's always like a win. You know, you get excited, you proud of them to see them
It's like,
open
yeah.
up, and everybody's
Yeah.
on a 2 hour wait on a Saturday. You know, so like
No.
I don't know. I think it's super dope.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to come down there soon as well, girl. I got my first
When you start
vaccine. I
back
told
traveling, Portia,
girl, I
are you
got my
taking the
first
vaccine?
vaccine. I got my first one, so I get my second one
Really?
in April. Yeah, April 13th.
How was it?
And so, so for me, I was just nervous. I was really, really nervous, but it was seamless. Like aside from having to stand in line for 45 minutes outside in the cold, which is another story, because I had my mama there, and I was like, I'll just stand in line. You go ahead and sit in the car till we get to the front of the line. But aside from that, you walked in, you had your documentation that you needed to fill out. You had a seat from the time that you got inside the building. It was literally no less than a 10-minute wait. Then you move from station to station, and then you sat in the seat. You got your little shot. I got my shot in my right arm. It did not hurt initially. We had to sit and wait in a little triage area afterwards, that so that they can monitor you and all of that for 15 minutes. After that, you was gone. And then I think
Oh,
like the next day, for like 24 hours, my arm was sore. But the key to making sure that you get over that is to move your arm. And that's what they'll tell you. Like the person that gave me my shot didn't tell me that, but the person that gave my mama her shot, she was like, "Make sure you move it, make sure you move it." And so that's what I was doing. And it was 24 hours. It was done. It was
oh,
done.
Yeah.
that's what's up.
So it was
What
the
about you,
fears
Terry?
all
You
in
got
my
the
head. What'd you say?
I haven't gotten it. I haven't gotten it yet, but my mom, my aunt, and my grandmother, they all got it. And when I went to go see my mom last week, I took her to go get the shot. And my grandma, she said that she gets so many needles and stuff all the time because she always going back and forth to the doctor, that she didn't feel nothing. She said she didn't had surgeries and other shots, and her insulin feels worse. So she has no complaints about it. But my mom, she was more of a crybaby, saying that she was sore, and she was like, ouch, and she was like, look at it, is it red? She was
Have
doing
you
a
heard
lot.
her
But
talk?
my grandma, she was like, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
See, that's what I was nervous
Let's.
of. Somebody said they couldn't move their arm for a whole day. I'm like, what?
Well, that's because they wasn't moving it. So as soon as you leave, before it really starts hurting,
Why your music?
That's not me. Looking for it.
that ain't been
Who is playing? God is lit this morning, huh? Okay, God.
Okay, Portia. I swear I wish I knew how to dance.
I do
shit
dance.
I wanna know. Who is playing this?
I love when that song come on. I wish I knew how to dance. I need to stay at home and practice.
That works, Ebony. That
Just get on
whole
TikTok.
Get on
us in the
text because I
mood
swear I
works,
cannot
y'all.
dance for nothing.
Yes, you can, girl. Yes, you
They'll
can.
teach you on TikTok.
Let's get
Gotcha.
into before King James come on and start crying because we cutting into his time on sports. Let's get into your reports, Yara. What we got
Sure,
going
let's
on?
do it. So, perfect segue since we're already on the topic of the coronavirus vaccine. AstraZeneca vaccine has been proven to be 79% effective against symptomatic COVID-19, says the company.
But
So
it's not available in the States though, right? It's available overseas.
it will be very soon. Yes,
But
they've been
that was
taking it.
okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so they had a
That was
U.S. based clinical trial.
mm-hmm.
Findings from the phase 3 trial, which had 32,000 participants, have boosted confidence in the vaccine. The trial was conducted in the US, Chile, and Peru. And so, yeah, they're saying that out of those that participated, 79% were white, 22% were Hispanic, 8% were Black, 4% were Native American, and 4% were Asian. About 20% of the participants were 65 years and over, and approximately 60% higher risk of severe COVID-19, such as diabetes, obesity, and heart disease. So this has been a new development. As you know, they are trying to get these shots out. The quicker we are able to get everyone vaccinated, the quicker we can get some type of normalcy. But it is interesting to see how these different companies are able to talk about their efficacy. Now, just because it's 79% effective against COVID symptoms doesn't mean that you can't catch COVID. And that's one thing I think we have to voice to everybody. It's more so like, I don't know, I don't want to compare it to sex, but it's like you still wear a condom, you still got to wear your mask, still got to practice safety. So when you think of getting the coronavirus vaccine, just know that you can still catch COVID. It's just about being protected from the implications of COVID, such as, you know, what happens when you have unprotected sex. So think about it that way, y'all.
Okay, so I did hear that was the one overseas. It was causing blood clot issues, allegedly. Is that the same one? AstraZeneca?
I'm not familiar. According to this report, there haven't been. It says right here, I don't know what thrombosis is, so maybe that's what blood clots is. I have no clue. But it says there have found no increased risk of thrombosis or events characterized by thrombosis among the 21,000 participants receiving at least one dose of the vaccine in this last trial.
So there were some rumors. It says there were some rumors against it. It says there were reports earlier this month of 30 blood clots occurring.
Wow.
Roughly 30 blood clots occurring after vaccinations. A few of them fatal. This led to more than a dozen European countries to suspend their use of AstraZeneca vaccine. But they said that I believe they've identified the cause of a rare blood clotting condition that has occurred after receiving the AstraZeneca vaccine. If correct, their research could mean any blood clots that occur could be easily treated. So, okay, so they've identified it. That's what it sounds like. And they are addressing it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, AstraZeneca is not available in the States just yet.
Coming soon. I want to be more of the J&J. Like, just give it to me one time. Even though people have their issues with Johnson & Johnson, I just shoot me up once. Whatever happened, happened. I'm a firm believer. Just whatever happens, happens. If I melt right after, so be it.
Yeah, I'm ready for my second. I'm ready for my second shot. I'm ready to go. Like, I'm so tired of sitting in the house. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So tired of sitting in the house. We haven't been to California in over a year, and my mom is like, okay, what that means for me, talking about her. She's like, what that means for me is that I can go home. And I'm like, I'm going home with you. You just don't know. You ain't been home, y'all. You ain't even go home for Christmas. Anyway, I'm digressing. Go ahead, Tiara. What else we got?
All right. Moving right along. So, Sweetie and Quavo, they were a big topic over the weekend. They went through a tumultuous public breakup. So, just a few days ago, where Sweetie tweeted, I think on Friday, about their breakup. March 19th on Friday. Sweetie went on a new talk show called Respectfully Justin that stars this big Instagrammer who's always posting like controversial stuff that people are always reposting, and as well as P. Diddy's son, Justin Combs, who Sweetie dated. And that's kind of how, I don't want to say that's how she got famous, but she really got popular during the Tumblr days back when she was dating Justin. So a lot of questions came up about relationships and what it means to be dating and what you do in a relationship and how much money is he supposed to spend on you. All of that came up, and Sweetie and Justin were giving each other looks about things that happened in their relationship, but they were just being subtle about it. But as Sweetie was on the show, it was made very clear that she was not acknowledging Quavo as her man or talking about him or even just acting like she was in a relationship in general. So after people started speculating, are they still together? Are they not? She ended up tweeting on March 19th, I'm single. I've endured too much betrayal and hurt behind the scenes for a false narrative to be circulating that degrades my character. Present, don't band-aid scars. If y'all know, he did buy her a $350,000 Bentley for Valentine's Day, as well as a whole string of Birkin bags. And she continues to say, and the love isn't real when the intimacy is given to other women. She says, I emotionally checked out a long time ago and have walked away with a deep sense of peace and freedom, excited for this new chapter of elevation. He responded to her very upset. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
He responded, this is the last part I got, saying, I know you want to make this into a show, so I'll play my part just this one time. I don't normally put my business out there. I feel the narrative needs to be addressed, so there are no false narratives. And then he goes on to say, I had love for you and disappointed you that you are not I thought you were. I wish you nothing but the best. And she responded very professionally. When we get upset, we ain't got much to say. We just sound like operators on the phone. And she said, take care.
Yeah, I normally hit him with a K. Listen, that K says so much. I normally just hit him with a K. Like, you work one little character. But listen, how old is she? Because she sounds very wise beyond her years. And
maybe 26-ish.
I'm happy that she stood up and she spoke her piece and she made her relationship transparent, because far too often a lot of people want you to believe in this fantasy that their relationship is so perfect. It's so this is so that. Yeah, she got Bentley. I saw a clip where she was saying that she got enough money to buy several properties and whatnot. But kudos to this young woman who had the courage to stand up and say, I'm not faking this no more, because a lot of times that's what it is. It's like you fake things for the gram, or you fake things just for public perception to let people think that you have it going on more than you do, and it's just not the truth. And so even though he bought her the Bentley and it was on public display, and there were rumors that he sent the repo man to her house to get the Bentley back, I would have gave it back. I don't know if she gave it back, if she put up a fight or whatever, but I would have gave it back too. Because at the end of the day, my
I ain't giving no car back. I'm not giving no car back.
Allegedly, they never came. Allegedly he never asked for the car. Is what sources
all
ended
of the
up
stuff we go through. Like, I'm not giving you no car back. That's enough. Like, you gave it to me, I ain't giving it back.
I don't want it.
He probably put her through so much stuff. She deserved that car.
Right. But it's a constant reminder.
I'm not giving no gifts back.
That's what everybody else was saying on the show last night. They was like, Portia, you crazy. You done hit yourself in the head. I'm giving everything back. If you want it back, here, take it.
Really?
You can give it in love anyway. I don't.
It just depends It depends on how emotionally attached you are to it, I think. Like, if you feel like when you see the car, they're a constant reminder of that person, that's one thing. But if that's just a whip that you finesse out of a dude, then shoot, keep it.
And so everybody on my show last night was like, nah, you crazy. I'm keeping everything, including D. D is in the comments right now talking about, nope, I'm not giving it back. Tammy said, no way that was going back. It's a gift. Yeah, I'm giving that shit back.
Listen, you can bring me a Nissan with 3 wheels on there with 3 tires. I'm keeping it. It's mine. It's in my driveway. I'm keeping it. Like, it's a no for me. I'm not giving nothing back.
I stole my car, Jody.
Listen, nothing. Yeah, like, I like Jasmine Sullivan's song, Pick Up Your Feelings. That's my cut. I listen to it all day. I think she just made music that women can relate to. And sometimes when we just live a lot like, oh, I'm happy. You know you ain't happy. You just existing in a relationship
I'm
that you're
like,
not happy in.
and
So if
then
I gotta
Right.
leave, no, I'm keeping it.
yeah. I don't
Mm.
want it. I
I'm
don't want
keeping.
it.
I might play his music while I'm driving. I might throw on some Migos while I'm
And
driving,
look,
but I'm keeping it.
and post it on your story on Instagram.
Listen,
Thank you,
while I'm riding.
and tag them.
Portia, you better
So
than me because I ain't giving them back.
I, if he want it back, come get it. I'll drive it to your house here. Like I don't want
No,
none of that. Like
And then
I
I
don't
how
don't
need
get
you
to
nobody
getting
give you
home?
my
A Uber,
headaches.
child.
to tell me
I
I
don't want
need
Listen,
this
nobody
for you.
follow me to his
You
house.
have it. You can have it. I'm good. I'm gonna keep it.
I don't
But
get to give you
anyway,
my headaches back. I don't get to give you my tears back. I don't get to give you none of that back. So guess what?
Mhm.
We gonna keep moving. You gonna go your way, and I'm gonna pull off in my Nissan with my 3 tires, and we good.
and in her case, her
Mm-mm.
Bentley. But I am proud of her. I really am proud of her that she had the courage to stand up and say, "This is not working. This is not what y'all think it is." He was not nice to me.
Absolutely.
He cheated on me. These gifts don't mean as sugar, honey, iced tea. They don't mean nothing. And I'm done with it. Like I'm too. I value myself more than trying to make it
Yeah.
seem like I'm in this perfect ass relationship when I'm not. So I congratulate her. I'm very proud of her for standing
Yeah.
up because a lot of women will just take what they can get because it seems as if it's supposed to be this ideal relationship goal type of relationship. And she was like, I'm good. Bye. I'm worth more.
Yeah. And that's
And she
why it's
and
Yeah.
you
very
can tell he
important.
was mad. Y'all can
Yeah, you
tell
could
he
tell
was
he was
mad.
mad. And Sweetie is very popular. You know, you could kind of almost
Correct.
compare her to a Lori. You know, when you think about just her popularity, how the girls love her, they say so icy, or they say a lot of things that the girls are on or into. You know, Sweetie's a part of it. So now that she has her own thing, she has her own popularity. Like I mentioned earlier, she started out by dating Justin Combs, so she's already within a network that will allow her. She said now that she's dated 8-figure guys, now she wants a 9-figure guy. So the fact that her confidence, her esteem, she ain't gonna trip about Quavo the same way. I don't want to say a regular girl, but she has the confidence to match the energy that he's putting out there. So I think she's gonna be okay.
I think
Honestly,
she'll
when
be
you
good
look
too.
at their what you say, Ebony?
No, I just said I think she'll be good too. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I like what she said. When you look on social media, you see the cars, you see the bags, and life look good, but that's not really the reality of stuff though. You have arguments just like any other relationship. Men gon' cheat just like any other relationship until they figure out that you're gone for real. Of course Quavo mad. Why wouldn't he be mad?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would too if I knew I messed up something good, but that's just the reality of men though. They mess up and then they feel it at that point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that she taught him a lesson. And in looking at those pictures, so you know how like I used to hang around my uncles when I was younger, and so I would listen to their conversations. Uncles, cousins, men in the family, whatever. And they will say stuff like, he don't know what to do with her. He can't handle her. She too much for him. When you
Mm-hmm.
hear like when I was younger, I didn't know what they meant, but now I can clearly identify what they talk about just by looking at the situation. He couldn't handle her. Like when you sitting there looking like he is clearly so young minded to me. I don't know him, I don't know her, but that's what comes to mind when I see them together on pictures and stuff like that. I just think that he couldn't handle her and he just couldn't handle the entire situation, the fame, the money, her being, more popular than him because that's what I think. Like I didn't necessarily know him. When you think of Migos, you think of Cardi B boyfriend or her husband. So I just clearly look at them and be like, he couldn't handle her. He just couldn't. He
I
just
mean,
couldn't.
too, again, when you young with that type of lifestyle, like, are you really ready to settle down? A lot comes with that. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you come from one place in in how many months or a year you in a whole nother bracket. Like a lot comes with that. So whereas a regular guy that works a regular job, you're not gonna see that many women in your DMs. You're not gonna be able to walk outside and see that many women trying to, like I guess it's different because they're young.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're young, so I
I
don't
mean,
know.
men cheat
He
while they old, but They still young.
Oh yeah. And when you that young and you got that much money and you have that much popularity, because popularity does
Yes.
not equal power, but when you young you think it does, right? You feel like you can have the world at your footstool, and that mentality is okay when it comes to pursuing your goals, but it's not okay when it comes to hurting the people that you're in relationships with. And so I think for him, it's just gonna be a tough lesson to learn. Like, you lost the best thing that ever. They tell you something. You lost the best thing that ever happened to you. I'm just saying. And he'll find that out the hard way. My one of my things was, you get what you get and don't have a fit, because that's what you wanted. You get what you get and don't have a fit. Peace. And
And it's
at the end,
very
listen, y'all, I got a lot to say on this topic, but and at the end of the day, I don't hate you. I just don't want to be your friend no more, because you don't know how to treat me as a friend. Because what you did was not
Yeah.
friendly. And so I don't want to be your friend. I don't hate you, but you can't call me. You can't see how I'm doing. Like, we're not friends because you didn't appreciate it. You didn't appreciate the friendship. So I don't want to be your friend. Don't call me.
yeah. And for those
Check on me.
celebrities, like it is really it's hard for them to date at such a young age. Like
It
I
is.
I can see how certain celebrities, if you think about somebody like Puffy, for example, he still ain't married. And I can see, just off of the life that they live and the access and how people frolic all over them. Pictures came out of Quavo getting different girls' phone numbers at different clubs. You can see Atlanta been open, he been hosting, so he's been very mixy. And that could be the same thing for Sweetie, because we don't know the ins and out of, her side of the story and all of that too. But it's like at 26 years old, when you're Quavo, you're Sweetie, or when you're Cardi B and you're Offset, or when you Jay-Z and Beyonce, you could see how difficult those relationships could be. Even if you don't physically cheat, it's just the amount of attention that your partner attracts could just get on your nerves.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I don't want
difficult.
nobody
It's,
famous.
especially if you don't have
Me
that
neither.
foundation uh, of morals, values, integrity, discipline, role models that you looked up to. Like, it's just very difficult. And that's just with anybody, not a celebrity, but any successful person. Like, you really find out who a person is once you give them money and the power and the respect and all of that. And they really show their true colors. And so, if they don't have that foundation built, then it's just difficult for them to cope,
Yep,
because it's a
definitely.
lot.
D
Yeah,
Shields
it's
just brought it up
definitely
in
a
the
lot.
in the comments about Derek Jackson. I don't know if you guys heard about Derek Jackson, but he's a very popular socialite on Instagram who always talks about relationships.
Not a socialite, but go ahead.
I mean, people think of him as one in our
Oh.
community. But yeah, he cheated, and it's been a big deal, specifically because of the amount of emphasis he has on being faithful and how women need to act, how men need to act, and now he's caught red-handed cheating.
Keisha Cole's song come to mind, because
Which one?
I know we all had that
You
thought.
shouldn't have
I should
cheated.
I should have cheated. I should have went out to the club. I should have lied. I should have cheated too. Like, which one is
I
it?
think too, a lot of times in relationships, we just kind of do so much stuff to make the other person happy and we forget about ourselves, right? So I think as long as you keep yourself first in the relationship, because you'll lose yourself in trying to make somebody else happy. I think that once we, look in the mirror and like, okay, well, this is what Ebony wants to do. Like, I'm not changing from what I normally would do to come home and cook 7 days out the week. That's not what I normally would do. That's not what I'm gonna do. I think you got to make yourself happy.
Right.
Here, what's going on? Why it sound like you got a feeling?
Say what?
Say what? It sounds like you
Well,
got things going in the background of your sound. What's going
really? Well, good morning,
on? Am I
y'all.
lying, y'all? Am I lying, y'all?
Good morning, Terry. How you doing? Happy
Good morning. How
Monday.
you doing?
Good morning. Can y'all hear him?
I'm not gonna say nothing else because
I'm
he be
just
trying to
drinking water and minding my business. That's what I like to do is drink
like I
water.
be coming for him. So I'm not gonna say that I can't hear him. Like nobody else can hear you. Like what's going on? That's what I'm saying. Oh Lord Jesus.
We can't hear you, but we could hear the sound.
Okay. Okay.
Nope.
You know what? D, I ain't
All
even
right,
got
while
nothing
he
else to
gets
say.
it,
I'ma leave it alone.
wh-
D,
while he,
I'm not
while he gets it together, let's talk a little bit about our homegirl Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul. So
Yes, that debuted last night for everyone to see.
it debuted last night. I didn't catch it, but as you guys know, her family is still asking people to denounce. It's like a 4-part series to denounce it and saying it's about common, decent respect. Aretha's son, Keikow Franklin, says the network didn't cooperate with the estate and they won't be tuning in. So I want to get y'all's thoughts because it does seem like a well put together series. Should people still tune in? Or should people stand in solidarity with her family and just wait until they figure out what's going on with her estate? Remember, we said she owes taxes, things like that. They have to get together before they can actually produce and get paid for content.
So here's my understanding of it. So I did watch the first episode. It is a series. I am excited to watch the rest of it. I just don't understand why the family is asking the public to boycott. From what I hear and from what I read and from what I understand, they went to the network, National Geographic, and they said we want to give our input, and they basically said no, we have enough first-hand accounts of what took place, and so I guess it wasn't needed, so they didn't get a chance to give their input, and I guess that equates to not being paid. I don't know what's the issue, and I wish First James could come back on so he could tell us. Because I know he wrote a couple of stories on it, and what that means. I just don't get it. Like, why would you ask the public to boycott such a masterful account of your mom's story? Is it simply because you didn't get paid? I'm seeking understanding. I don't know. Emily, what do you think it is?
I don't know. I think you know how sometimes once you give out your side of the story and what you witnessed, and then you give it to the producers to tell it, it's now their story. And I think that a lot of times we need to make sure those contracts right because once you give out so much information, they can make it into whatever they want to make it into. And now you left, now you got stuff changed. It's like now it's too late. They're not gonna do it. So I mean, I haven't watched it yet. My goal actually was to watch it today. So I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
another
D
and
said,
another thing with the fan. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
No, I was just
Go ahead.
saying, and then I want to hear the comments. But the family also was upset about the music that was included, but they don't have the license to her masters, and that's one thing that we have to think about, y'all. Just in terms of what it means to be Black in entertainment, what it means to be artists, because as y'all know, historically, artists have been stripped of having control over their career, of their masters, and it's a shame, but I mean, if it could happen to Prince, it could happen to Aretha Franklin, it could happen to anybody. So if her family is also upset because they're featuring, their mother's music and they don't have any access or rights to the music, they don't get any type of compensation off of the music. And it might not even be a dollar amount that they want. It's just to be able to own the rights of her legacy. So but at the end of the day, that was contracts that she signed years ago, that she had managers and representatives at these labels. So who can you really blame at this point?
Yeah, and then they weren't even
Yeah,
owning
that's
their
what's
own
up.
masters. Like been like an example for the new artists. Like, get your stuff together. Own your own masters. Like, be your own boss.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
what
that's what's up.
happened to your perspective? I know that you wrote several stories about film, and I didn't get as in depth what happened as you did. So tell us, what's your take on it?
Who are you talking? You talking to me?
I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I didn't know you were talking to
Yes,
me.
first
You,
King James, first King
you,
James. So what's your take on it? What happened? Why are they asking the public
We
to?
was just waiting for your audio.
oh, okay. Well. First of all, I think that the important thing here is that Sweetie needs to get back that car. It's not hers, and I
No.
think that yes. I think Sweetie needs to get back. Quavo needs to go ahead and repo that car. Yes, he do. He needs to go ahead and repo that car.
No.
She didn't. She didn't.
No.
She didn't earn that car. She already got a Birkin bag, and she doesn't need that car. So that's first of all. Now,
You can't
second
give
of all,
somebody something they didn't back. That's whack.
she
Like,
she didn't she
no,
didn't
that
get she didn't
he
no.
couldn't come and repo my car
Oh, so
because he would
so
get
so
that.
so you keeping the ring? So you keeping the ring?
I'm keeping everything that belongs to me. You gave it to me, I'm keeping it. If it's a bag of groceries with frosting flakes in there, you brought it to my house, I'm keeping it. Period.
I
No
know that's
crumbs.
right.
I'm keeping it. No,
Okay,
I'm keeping
so
it. It's mine.
wow, that is interesting. See, because the fact is that that's a $300,000 car, and so
You
you
should
know what I'm
have thought
saying.
about that
So
before.
He got it.
wait, hold on, hold on,
That's
hold on.
one concert.
Y'all act like it's his fault. She's the
That's one
narcissistic one.
appearance.
She's the selfish one.
What?
Well, so I hate to agree with Terry, but I'm agreeing in a different form. I will give it back because I just don't want the headache. I don't want the constant reminder. I don't want you holding nothing up in my head talking about I bought you a car. You didn't. You can have it back. It's yours. You didn't buy it with good intentions.
You won't be able
anyway.
to say nothing because you'll be blocked, and you'll be
I'm
blocked
good.
with the card.
I'm good.
Period.
Have it.
Well,
Terry
I'm
can
just
have
go-
it.
I'm just goofing
Instead
because
of
of the
a
fact
house,
that
as long as it's
well,
not a
I'm
house.
I'm just goofing because he's the one, Quavo's the one that's being maligned and vilified as if this is all his fault, and she didn't have anything to do with it. I mean, you get up there on social media talking about, well, what I'm saying, but a guy got to get me a Birkin bag or whatever, or you know what I'm saying, or a Bentley to be with me. Then you know what I'm saying. That's what you're going to attract. If you want that kind of things, that you're going to attract, but you also got to take the bad with it. So I just don't think it's all his fault. I think that this has been slanted by blogs and by Sweetie. So that's my position
Okay,
on it.
so how did we get to this? We was talking about Aretha Franklin now. We was talking about the Aretha Franklin story.
Yes, I know, but I had to get that
I'm,
in there. Now about
I'm
Aretha Franklin. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead,
No, I'm
Tierra.
just torn up about how, like, are we saying that because of somebody's tax bracket they should be able to get away with infidelity because that might be their nature based off of their lifestyle? No,
No,
right?
what I'm saying is that there's always two sides to a story. I think that he has been mercilessly ridiculed and vilified, unaccountably, and I think that her faults and her transgressions in the relationship have been conveniently overlooked. It's never one sided. Never. There's another side to this story, and he has been classy enough not to talk about it.
He had to laugh
I
at
mean,
that.
I believe it's
Okay.
two sides. I definitely believe it's two sides to the story. However, I'm just not giving no gifts back. If they're in my possession, I'm not giving them back. They can cost $3. It's not even about the amount. I mean, I don't understand what man wants a gift back that he gave. Like, that's whack to me.
No, I'm with
Even
you.
if it was
If you give me that Bentley, even if you gave me that Bentley on the condition that I stay with you, I'm still keeping it. No, I'm with you, Gabby. I'm keeping that. I'm keeping that Bentley. Go ahead, sweetie.
I'm
Go
not
ahead, girl.
giving it back.
I knew I couldn't agree with him on nothing, y'all. I knew he was lying. I'm giving it back. I don't have that heavy thing.
No. See, audience, D. I want you to see the hypocrisy here. She's going to give back the Bentley, but she wants Nicole Young to take Dr. Dre for $2 million a month that she did not earn. She didn't earn $2 million a month.
Mental anguish, torment, years of infidelity. Give me my $2 million a month, but I am getting that car. 'Cause I'm okay.
No, anyway, I know that our next guest is supposed to be coming up, so that's why I was pausing on the sports report. Do we have him available at this?
What you
I'm
talking about?
sorry.
What you
Oh,
talking
I thought
about?
we had another. Oh, I thought we had another guest coming on.
Go ahead.
All right. So
She
anyway,
said
so anyway,
almost agreed. We almost agreed. We almost agreed. Go
okay.
into
Well,
Aretha Franklin. Go into your sports. What happened with Aretha? You wrote the story, so tell us why the family is asking us to boycott.
no, I just think that I did not write the story, but I. The problem is that when you go ahead and do a biography on a particular, this happens all the time. Um, I'm trying to think back to offhand who I recently heard about
Whitney,
because there's been Whitney. There's been a zillion
Michael Jackson.
biographies done on artists without the family's permission or input. And that's what it is. They feel like they've been disrespected because they know them best. They were not consulted as executives or executive producers or advisors to the show. Authors do this all the time. One of my favorite authors, because I read Portia, is Mr. John Grisham. And John Grisham is really one of the upper echelon of authors in America who has books written about him that have been adapted into movies, second only to like Stephen King or something like that. He's up there in the top percentile. And so he hates it. He actually just says, from now on, I'm just taking the money and I'm walking away. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to advise it because they keep mutilating my books. And so this happens all the time when a family is not happy with the portrayal of their family member, particularly after they die. So that's why I'm happy for Ice Cube and members of wow, they said F the police. Wow, I can't believe I can't remember.
NWA.
NWA. So NWA, I'm happy for. Don't even look at me like that, Miss Maya Angelou. You said Maya Angelou. It's Maya Angelou. Anyway, yes.
Talking about Aretha Franklin. You want to talk about SWAT, Saweetie, and Quavo and Lau. Go ahead.
You see what I have to put up with, Ebony? You know what I'm saying? I come on here. Okay, but anyway, I just think that
Talking about sports. Go ahead.
Okay, so I just thought that I think the family feels disrespected that they were not consulted, and that certain things. And when you're not consulted, they take they go ahead and portray an image of a particular artist that is not congruent with the desires of the family. So that's why they're upset. They feel disrespected, and I'm in agreement with that. In order to come out with a best case scenario, and I know there's some things that in some artists the family wants to protect, even if they did it, even if they're guilty. It's in the spirit of it and who's directing it. For example, great example. Selma was going to be directed by Lee Daniels. He's a great director, but there was some great trepidation about how his infidelities were going to be portrayed on screen. The way in which it was done on screen in Selma by Ava DuVernay was absolutely masterful. She was able to go ahead and broach that topic without disrespecting the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King. Mm-hmm. Lee Daniels was going to foray into much more into Martin Luther King's alleged relationship with streetwalkers that would have stained the movie to the point where you only would have focused on that instead of Selma and what it meant. That's why the King family are happy with Ava DuVernay. That's why they're happy with Miss DuVernay. It was a masterful topic because it allowed us to say, okay, he's a flawed human being like all human beings, but he still accomplished great things. Whereas had it been directed by Lee Daniels, the family feared that it would have been too much focus on him stepping out on his wife. Let's put it that way. And that's what most families are angry about. The Aretha Franklin family have every right to be incensed because they were not consulted. They were not given a chance to share their side. So I understand their side. So anyway.
D said, "Oh well." She said, "Child, that Reverend Franklin in episode 2, the swingers party scene. It's a wrap. I didn't see episode 2. Y'all
A
episode 2?
swinger.
They said
See,
it was.
and that's what I'm talking about, because Lee Daniel wanted to talk about Martin Luther King Jr. and prostitutes, and he wanted to delve deeply into that. And the King family was like, "What? Seriously? After all this man accomplished, you want to talk about prostitutes? Nah, that won't going down like that." And so, you know what I'm saying? That's just like taking the great legacy of JFK, and all you're talking about was the side chicks that he had. That's a slant against the name, right? So that, you know what I'm saying.
But
So
is it?
this is what. Go ahead.
But was it true though? I'm just asking because I don't know.
I mean, and that's just the thing. I knew about this. I was trying to tell people, and I used to get cussed out by church folks and others. This is true. The man had some faults. Everybody, we're human beings. We all have transgressions or things that we're not proud of. Martin Luther King Jr. was a human being. He was just a highly accomplished man who did great things that we celebrate to this day. But did he have mistakes? Yes. Malcolm had mistakes. Huey Newton had mistakes. Marcus Garvey had mistakes. I mean, anybody who's ever lived have made mistakes. Everybody.
Agreed.
So go ahead, Ebony.
No, I was just gonna say I agree with it 100%. I think a lot of times when people talk about cheating and infidelity, I just don't think it's a mistake. I think you did it because you wanted to do it, and you might just be sorry for it. But it's not a mistake, though. In reality, it's something that you did. You have to own it. It's not a mistake.
No, and that's
I
just
think
the
it's
thing.
especially if you do it multiple times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then allow me. You're right. This has to do with semantics. Allow me to use another word: error in judgment. Errors in judgment. MLK had errors in judgment.
Selfish act. How about that? Go ahead. Sorry.
No, that was not even an input. I mean, you just detracted from the situation. It was just an error in judgment, and it should not detract from his overall incredible legacy that he left on the world, not just in America, but on the world. You know what I'm saying? Mahatma Gandhi had some mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And the only mistake, Gandhi. I said Gandhi. No, don't you even try it, Miss Angelo, Maya Angelou. Ebony, can you believe that she called Maya Angelou and Maya Angelou? I can't believe. And then she's gonna try to put me on blast. I mean, come on, man.
Okay. Crazy. Y'all crazy. So I want to get to these comments right quick. We're still talking about Aretha Franklin. And Angelique Randall wants to know the name and the name of it and the network. So it's Aretha's Genius Aretha. It's on National Geographic Network. Check that out. But D Shield said the next scene, Aretha is pregnant. She's a pregnant 12-year-old after that party. She said, child. She said, oh, they added King's name in the Aretha movie with Reverend Franklin. Sadly, it was true, but racists use that info to discredit all of his work. Not cool. Kathleen said, just please give him the grace that we afford all humans. So I agree.
Yeah, and I'm really happy. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tiara.
No, I was just going to say, we also have to learn as a people not to just accept whatever we see on TV as always the true account of what really happened. So just because somebody says, I'm playing this, at the end of the day, the person playing the role is the person just playing the role. So that could have been, true accounts, but it also could have been embellished. It could have been somewhat true, halfway true. It could have been done up for TV, whatever. So I think it's important for us to even know, with or without the family support, you're not, unless you were there, you don't know what really happened. And that's something that we all have to take into account when we just talk about news in general, because it can be swayed and everybody has an opinion. Everybody has a camera. Everybody has a way to tell what happened, and nobody knows what happened in real time.
Yeah, but I think that there's a lot of filmmakers out there, or people who make movies or produce movies, who are nefarious in nature. And what they do is that if they don't have a vested interest in that particular artist, if they're not from that culture, then they will, they basically will mutilate that person for ratings, for money. They will tell a slanted story just because they know that they can get away with it. And that's why I'm glad that Spike Lee got a hold of the Malcolm X movie from the Caucasian filmmaker that was going to make it, because it was probably going to be something else. So we just have to be careful. Yes, watch it, but watch it with a discerning eye. Don't take everything for granted, and then go out and read. And I hope that, some things like this, and eventually, well, actually, Mario Van Peebles came out with Panther back in the day. It is so many different portrayals of the Black Panther Party. I swear, I hope that someday, that the Messiah movie, that people inspire people to go out and read actually what took place, and accept the fact that these are imperfect human beings, and that they had foibles, faults, transgressions, but look at what they did and judge it together. You know what I'm saying? Instead of having some slanted portrayal from someone outside of our culture who don't give a damn about Aretha Franklin. That is where I'm with the family at. That's my piece.
Are you supporting it? Are you watching it? What's your stance?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I mean, we've already had enough. Yeah, it's enough. I mean, it's like, wow. I'm not. I didn't watch the Whitney thing. I didn't watch that. I mean, I'm just like, how many different movies are you going to use to bash and to mutilate the legacy of Whitney Houston? Is that all she was about? Was drug usage? It's a joke. It's a joke. I mean,
Okay.
shine the spotlight on yourselves. Show it on yourselves. When we gonna get our documentary on that rapist in prison, Weinstein? When we gonna get something on Harvey Weinstein? I'm waiting on that. Turn the camera in on yourself.
We want you to write it. We want you to write it. Let's get started on it. Okay.
Anyway.
I do hate that they wait until they pass away to come out with even more movies and documentaries about their lives, because they're not there to give true accounts. I think that the most amazing thing, and my favorite biographic of all time, is Ray. And I feel like it was the fact that Jamie Foxx, just being the artist that he is, cared so much about being truthful in his reenact. And that I think Ray Charles was alive when the film came out. Even
No, he was alive before. He was alive when it was being made, and then he died shortly before the movie came out. But you're right. Right. He was there. He was a consultant as long as he could, and he had Jamie Foxx, who was not going to allow the filmmakers to just trash Ray. That is a great. I'm glad you brought that up. That is an excellent example of how you show the good and the bad without trashing someone like they've done Whitney Houston. Now it's almost as if Whitney Houston is a joke. This all-time great vocalist has now been reduced to a punchline. You know what I'm saying? Because they hold the keys to her legacy, not us.
I don't think so. One of the things Dee Shields commented on Facebook, she said the music industry is clear in these movies that whites, Caucasians abused Black talent back then. They are highlighting that most of all, and that is definitely apparent. So, y'all, we need to learn from the past. Like Terry said,
Yes.
like King James said, y'all need to read. And
not only that,
incredible.
and not only that, and try to, there's a lot of legends who are still alive, and that's why I'm so glad that Ice Cube was able to get a hold of his own, accounts of what happened with NWA, and they didn't shy away from the bad stuff. They didn't shy away from it. They told it all, and so that's what I would like to see in the future is for our stories. First of all, our flowers to be given to our greatness before they pass away. And then to have a more accurate portrayal with the positive aspects and the negative attributes all included, so that you can see that a flawed human being can still acquire greatness. That's what I would like to see. Martin Luther King Jr. was an all-time great with flaws.
Like everybody else.
Like
everybody else.
And like
everybody else.
Afford them grace. Just afford them grace.
Yes, and right. And and Martin Luther King admitted his faults, unlike somebody like Portia, who never admits that she's wrong. These are people who I don't know why you keep saying that. It's Lou. It's Lou. It's in
Continuing story. I think we should get on to the sports report because it is 9:30. In Laos.
See, this is what I'm talking about, Ebony. This is what I'm talking about. I try to come over here and try to present a professional, face, and then I have to deal with Portia. Excuse me for a minute while I handle her. Well, I'm gonna take care of sports first, and then I'll handle her. If we have our first slide up today, I'll go ahead and get started with the NCAA, and this just sickens me. This just sickens me. The Big Ten was the number one conference in basketball, college basketball, all year, and one of the only teams left is that team north of Ohio. Oh my God. Oh, I'm about to be sick.
Michigan?
I don't even say that name. So
Michigan?
we Buckeyes, we don't say it. See, the NCAA tournament, we were hailed as the best conference in the country, the Big Ten. I'm a Buckeye. We got eliminated the first weekend by Oral Roberts. So our feelings were hurt the first damn day. I mean, how do you lose to a Bible college? I mean, what? I mean, Buckeyes, come on, man. But anyway,
Praise the Lord.
Illinois. Okay, so if we were sorry, we wouldn't have gotten to the tournament. So anyway,
That's fine. Sorry, go ahead.
The Buckeyes lost on opening night, and unfortunately, I tried to email the picture, but what's unfortunate is that E.J. Liddell, one of the people who were responsible for helping the Ohio State Buckeyes get to the tournament in the first place, was not only given death threats, but he was called every name in the book. Oh, thank you, TJ. And that's why TJ is brilliant. This is E.J. Liddell. He is one of the main pieces. And so immediately after the game, in this social media, everything comes like right away. It's live. Everything is right on time. So as soon as they lost to Oral Roberts, he got death threats saying that, they're going to get him. He better watch where he walked. They called him all kinds of N-words. The combination of words that he were called are actually creative. Some of these racists are actually creative with their hate. And so, Charles Barkley and others got on TV on Friday, and basically renounced the racists who basically tortured this young man. And he went on social media and said that he is a human being and that he tried, he didn't lose on purpose. And so it's kind of a sad commentary on today's sports. And I mean, I guess we should be used to it because this is the world that we live in. Because when Gabrielle Douglas, when she was at the Olympics making history as one of the few blacks to ever win in gymnastics, she went on social media and the first thing she found was that her hair was out of place. Now, this is a woman who's doing pirouettes, flips on the beam, and you expected her hair to be on place. All they talked about was her hair, not her accomplishments, her hair. Black people talking about Gabby Douglas' hair. So I guess it's the new world that we're living in. So as soon as something happens and people are upset, they go ahead and they regurgitate their feelings onto social media, and they tortured this poor guy over the weekend. So shout out to E.J. Liddell.
I'm confused on what happened. So he missed the winning shot, Terry, and then
what happened was that unlike Michigan, he's a winner, and what happened was that he didn't perform well down the stretch. Not the losing shot. He didn't perform well down the stretch, and so they're blaming him for losing when it was when he was the main reason why they even got to the tournament in the first place. So it's just like the hate that LeBron James gets a lot, and I'll be talking about him in my segment. When he lost in the finals, and he's lost a lot in the finals, people tend to blame LeBron, but they forget the fact that without LeBron James, you wouldn't even be in the championship in the first place. So why are you blaming him? So that's what's happening. It's kind of irrational, but we all know how we get when we're in our feelings, and we're able to. You don't have to move. You can just sit down and type with your feelings right away, and that's not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? So
listen,
yeah, that's what
don't
happened.
come for. If that was my son, I'd be like LeVar Ball's dad. What's his name?
You wouldn't do.
His name
nothing,
is LeVar.
I'll be like LeVar Ball. Don't come for my son. Do not come.
No, you wouldn't do nothing.
That's all I'm saying.
You would. Come on, man. Come on. Whatever.
I'm gonna leave my damn son alone.
I did.
Leave the boy alone. Sure.
I don't know if this is in your report, Terry, but speaking of the NCAA, do you have any input on how they're saying the women's side of the tournament is so vastly different from the men's side of the tournament in terms of funding. I saw over the weekend how, if you could kind of expand upon that.
Yes, thank you so much, Tierra, for that. I'm so glad because what happened is that over the weekend I was talking with, well, not talking. I don't know her, but Jamel Hill. We've had her on our one of our shows. Jamel Hill, who used to be of ESPN, and she was talking about this, and I was just like, you know, this is deplorable. I mean, this was egregious. This was outstandingly bad to have the disparity between the men's and the women's basketball game. And so I'm standing behind the women in disgust that they had some kind of, I mean, I wish I had a photo. I wish I had to remember to bring a photo.
Right, of the workout room.
Of the gym, of the workout room wasn't even a workout room. It was just a couple of weights where the men, the men had the type of equipment that makes you look like you're going into LA Fitness. Like they had everything. And the women had a couple of barbells. Are you kidding me? Is this what the women's game is viewed? In many respects, I like the women's college game better than the men's game. I enjoy watching it. I love Connecticut. I loved Kentucky with Pat Summitt. I loved what's her name? Well, anyway, but the women's game is often more entertaining in the college game than men's. And this is how y'all treat them. So I'm so glad that they were called out. And you know that they had. This is when you know that they really meant to do what they just did. Because the very next day, they brought in the type of equipment that made it look like you were going into LA Fitness. That means you had the capability of providing them the right equipment the first time. So, it's just deplorable. And actually, this is what it looks like now than when it looked like before. They just had a couple of barbells. They swept, they mopped up after themselves. And so some of these people would have, they should have gotten a degree in custodial arts because they were good at mopping up after the mess that they created after disrespecting the women's game like they did. And so, you know what I'm saying? I'm an advocate for the underdog. So I often wrote mostly about women's sports because everybody was going after men's sports, of course, when I was in college. So I've always advocated for the underdog or the underrepresented or the disrespected. So I really enjoyed reporting on the women's game. And I just think it's just totally deplorable that the women were treated this way. Any thoughts?
Yeah.
Dawn Staley, she was, can y'all hear me or not? Okay. So Dawn Staley, she was very vocal about condemning the unequal amenities at the NCAA women's tournament. So shout out double NCAA. Ain't that what I said?
Okay.
I said
okay.
NCAA.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Of what I'm saying, you need to be quiet.
Can you finish your report? Can you just go ahead? Go ahead.
No,
ain't got time for
just
this.
saying the South Carolina women's basketball coach, and she shed light on it and made sure that everyone was aware of the unequal treatment. So kudos to her for basically shining that light on it. But I'm with you, Terry. I'm always with the underdog.
Yeah.
Like
I think
go ahead.
I think what burns me up so much about it is we see all these commercials and all this advertising and how feminism is such a wave and Black Lives Matter is such a wave. And now Stop Asian Hate is the new hashtag. And by all means, we need to bring up the awareness. But in the actual institutions is where we are supposed to see change in action. We having a whole feminist movement that we're having currently. Why is it that we had to expose the NCAA? They should know better. They should have those people in position in place to call stuff out before we have to talk about it. And I think what's so upsetting is as much as we highlight, this is what needs to be acknowledged, this what needs to be talked about, this what needs to see changes. It's the fact that they could have made those changes if they were actually listening versus trying to be a part of the hashtag. I just think that they need to get things in order behind the scenes before they so-call themselves allies to movements. But then when it's actually time to show up and prove that you actually care about women, y'all show y'all ass.
Yeah, and I think it's important to point out that the NCAA does have a female VP of girls in CAA, and she didn't really say or do anything. So she needs to be held accountable as well. When you have someone who's supposed to be on your team or leading your team, and they're not protecting you or advocating for you, then she needs to be ousted. She needs to be exposed, laid bare, chewed up, devoured, and then dismissed. Because what is your point? You're making a lot of money to sit back and do nothing as these women get disrespected. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like in the WNBA. The female president of the WNBA is very vocal about advocating for women's sports or the women's professional basketball. And if she was not, then she needs to be replaced. So the vice president, her name is Lynn Holtzman. What the hell are you doing? I haven't heard your name throughout this entire debacle. Who the hell are you, and what are you doing? And why have you not said enough? Are you scared of your bosses? Can you not speak out? If you're not going to do anything, to get the hell out. You know what I'm saying? You are wasting our time, and you are not helping these women achieve their dreams. You're not. No, you need to get out. What's your role? What are you doing? What's your purpose besides collecting or stealing a check? So anyway.
Terry, I think King James, I think you should call her. I think you should call her office. I think you should demand an interview to find out exactly what she's doing and the measures that she's putting in place to address this situation. I think you should do it. We need to know.
Yes, I think
public. We need to know.
Yes, see, it's too late. It's too late then, because you're in this place and you make a great paycheck, probably six figures, to prevent what actually went down. So by the time it happened, it's too late. What is your purpose on this earth?
Call her office.
Ebony, let's go get her. Ebony, let's go get her. Let's call her.
Let's do it. Listen,
you with me on this, Ebony?
I'm with you. I definitely agree, though. I mean, you get to see it firsthand. You're there. Like, how could you be okay with seeing the men have so much and then the women have so less? And I mean, women, a lot of times we've had to be so strong and we've had to do so much, so we make the best out of what we have. However, like, how could you sit there as a female and be okay with it? Like Tiara said, it's only an issue when it's known to everybody else. But your day to day, you see this every day. It hasn't been an issue. But now when it's announced to the public, we now have an issue. Like, that's just whack. I agree with you, Tiara. She needs to get out that seat.
Yeah, exactly. And so
because at this point, you are just collecting.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying at this point, you are just collecting the check because you see it. It's not like you're blinded by it. You know everything that's going on. And now that everybody else knows, now you know you want to apologize. No, are you really sorry? What are you sorry for? For watching it and not doing anything? Like, I don't know. I just know that I couldn't sit there and know that women are not treated equally and not do nothing. Like, that's whack.
Yeah.
That's
so carry on with you. Let's go get her.
Okay.
Let's go get her.
All right.
She needs to be held accountable.
While Portia sits back and talk about what she's going to do, I know that Ebony, you about your business. You a boss. You a boss, Ebony. So we going, you know what I'm saying? So we going to handle this. Okay. Anyway, on to the next topic. Speaking of the Ball brothers and I believe my next topic is Lonzo Ball. We're gonna be talking about Lonzo and LaMelo Ball. We do have to give props to LeVar Ball, even though he's bombastic. He is self-centered. He is over the top. He is extra. He got all three of his sons into the NBA. Now the middle son, I believe his name is Lee. Just D'Angelo. Lee Angelo. He only got a tryout with the Detroit Pistons. And of course, when you go to Detroit, you get devoured, and it's a wrap. I mean, you go to Detroit to die, basically. Anyway, so his career is pretty much over. And so, Lonzo Ball, that was LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball basically said that he broke his hand yesterday, so he's one of the marquee box office stars of the NBA. He was the runaway leader for Rookie of the Year, and now he broke his hand, and they're predicting that he's out for the rest of the season. Since the season is going to, the truncated, abbreviated season is going to come to a close at the end of the month. So they believe his season is over, which is sad because of the fact that he was really doing it, and he was basically turning LeVar Ball, the patriarch, into sort of like like a great prognosticator. You know what I'm saying? Like he was the one that predicted the father, the patriarch, that his all of his sons are going to go and get in the NBA, and they did. That his two sons are going to be stars, and they are. Because my next subject is Lonzo Ball, the oldest brother. He plays for the New Orleans Hornets. TJ, if you can go ahead and bring up the picture of Mr. New Orleans Pelicans.
Oh,
New Orleans Pelicans.
no. Okay, yeah, okay. Go ahead, because you was wrong. Go ahead, though.
Okay, Portia, don't interrupt grown folks while they're talking, okay? Now, Lonzo Ball. It's done. It's done. I've already settled it. Okay, thank you. Now, Mr. Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball. Okay, wait. Okay, can I get to my report? Our show is almost over. Okay, Lonzo Ball is he's on the trading block, and I think it just speaks of his talent level, that he is sought after by many teams. The Atlanta Hawks want him, the Chicago Bulls want him. There's several other teams that are looking for his services, and they're trying to work out some kind of contract. I don't know why. What happened to Ebony? Because she helps to protect Ebony. Where's Ebony? She just leave? What's going on here? But anyway, all right, I'll talk to her later.
I want to point out that was Lonzo Ball that was just there. His tattoos were immaculate. I don't know if y'all seen them, but he has Martin Luther King Jr. He has Malcolm X. It looks like he has Barack Obama down there on the right. They are like popping off of his arm. Like whoever did his sleeves were on point. Tattoos look good, y'all. I'm just saying. But go ahead, continue your story. They look good.
Yeah. So
I agree, they do look good.
They look good.
They look. Yeah, but it has it's totally inconsequential to this report. And so while you focus on while you remain surface oriented, blinded by the pretty lights, there's actually a deeper person inside of there that you don't care to even pursue because you're not listening to my report. So the reason
trying to overlook stuff, you know that man tattoos look good. Don't do that. Go ahead.
Okay, it's immaterial to what I'm saying. Hi, welcome back, Ebony. Thank you for bringing some levity back to the show because Tierra, she's cool and all, and I need both of y'all to offset the madness of whatever that be coming my way while I'm trying to be giving my report. You know what I'm saying? I'm innocently being picked on here, and Tierra won't defend me, so hopefully you will, Ebony. Now,
Tiara. Oh Lord. Okay.
Oh, we done lost her. Now one of my defenders is gone.
You was coming.
Okay, so anyway. So he's being he's on a trading block, and a lot of New Orleans fans, Pelican fans, are outraged. They are irate. They are incensed. They're just like, this dude is one of the few attractions. And in basketball, is more on the star. It's more star built. Whereas in football, in other sports, you root for the team more because that's the way it's built. You don't see them under the helmets or whatever. So, basketball is a star-driven league. And when you take away one of the marquee stars, it affects your box office. It affects your gate. It affects your income. And so, but anyway, they're expecting him to be traded by the deadline. And there's a lot of teams open for his services. So LeVar Ball, man, did I sometimes just got tired of listening to this man talk about himself and talk about how brilliant he was and talk about he could beat Michael Jordan in one-on-one. I got to applaud. He got all three of his sons in the NBA, and two of them are stars. And I bet the middle son is doing something great outside of basketball, or he has returned to the D League to work on his game so he can get back in the game after he was mutilated in Detroit, which happens whenever you go to Detroit. I barely survived my internship at the Detroit Free Press, so I understand what he went through. I take pills every day for PTSD from my time in Detroit. Now, so we got the next one on the bill.
That's what's wrong. He be off his meds, y'all. He's talking about I take pills every day. So when he be going off on those tangents, that just means that he is off of his meds. I got it now. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Terry. I'm gonna be nice.
Now,
I'm gonna be nice.
Okay, so She gonna be nice. She gonna be nice after she done went after me. See, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't suffer this much. See, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of the next slide, if we have time, is it's getting late. The next slide is, I believe, it's LeBron James, and this is LeBron James. Portia, pay attention. This is LeBron. And what happened was is that
I'm looking. We need some brighter light on his tattoos.
okay, that's colorism. That's colorism. That's colorism. You talking about because he's dark skinned. Because he's dark skinned. He ain't have nothing to do with how his skin is. You leave the boy alone. Now,
I love dark skin. You cannot get me to say it's colorism. You needed a better light. This is a better light. Look at that. All right, 1984.
okay, so can I finish? Okay, can I finish my report?
He broke
my God.
Go ahead. Get it out. He broke his ankle. He out.
He did that. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, that's what I'm talking about, Ebony. He did not break his ankle, and this goes to the person that she worships, because I've never heard of Maya Angelou. She worships Maya Angelou. I worship Maya Angelou. So anyway, he another one of the marquee stars of the NBA is out for the year, and he might be. He's out indefinitely. Hopefully, he's not out for the rest of the year. So this greatly compromises the chances of the Los Angeles Lakers repeating as champions and defending the title. So what happened was, and this is what I'm talking about with cancel culture, as soon as Mr. Solomon Hill of the Atlanta Hawks, I hope that was not me, maybe it is, but anyway, as soon as Solomon Hill of the Atlanta Hawks rolled over his ankle, he was subjected to death threats and to, just all kind of, and yes, they called him the N-word, of course. And so I'm disturbed. Well, I'm not disturbed. I'm just wondering what this says about us whenever you make a mistake or something unfortunate happens to someone you like and you're the one that made it happen. That you're scared to even turn on Twitter. So this, I don't know about you, Ebony, but I don't want to be.
If it's not broken, what happens to his ankle if it's not broken?
Okay, there's other things that can happen, and so I see that you didn't pay attention to biology class. It was a high ankle sprain. Excuse me, I'm talking. It was a high ankle sprain, and basically he's out indefinitely. And with Anthony Davis also out, this greatly compromises the chance of the Los Angeles Lakers defending their title, and it swings the balance of power back over to the East, where Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving and James Harden are all teamed up with the Brooklyn Nets. And so now they're the favorites to win the title, because LeBron James, even if he comes back, he may not be in shape, even though he spends $1 million a year taking care of his body. We just, there's a difference between being in shape and being in sports shape. So we'll have to see how long he'll be out. Hopefully he'll be back by the end of the month when the playoffs begin, as well as Anthony Davis. And so, TJ, did I send you that last photo of LeBron and LaMelo Ball? Because one of the things I like about LeBron, it was one where he dunked on him, but LaMelo, so that's LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball went and told the media that he doesn't admire or revere LeBron James as much as his older brother Lonzo does. And so almost immediately afterwards, LeBron James went on his Instagram and showed a picture of him dunking on LaMelo Ball. That you can't get much more petty than that. That is so petty. But I'm here for the petty. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it irks me, but sometimes, I'm saying, it's fun. So anyway, that is my sports report. I am the first King James and I was the one that came from Akron, Ohio. I'm not going to LA. I'm not going to South Beach, because there's too many of Portia's cousins out there partying during spring break and wearing no mask. I mean, she need to go get her people, because they got to be her people. Ooh.
Yeah. You did good. You did real good. Your audio was on point. Your video was good right up until now. Like you, y'all did real good, King James did. And then I don't know what happened. Oh Lord. Okay.
Lord.
Well,
there you go.
So anyway, no. I don't need your condescension and patronizing. I know I did good, because I I know I did good because I
Well,
simplified
let's get
good.
into some
You
positivity.
don't need to tell
Grab
me
the
that I'm good when I already know that I'm
amethyst.
good. Okay, you don't need to tell me what I already
Show
know
me
I
the
am. Okay, thank you.
amethyst.
So go ahead, Tiara. Let's go into
We're
our
gonna
positive
get
thoughts.
into positive thoughts. I think it's a good time for positive thoughts.
The nerve of this woman.
My positive thought for today, y'all, is to create an atmosphere that you enjoy, that you feel like living in. So how we were talking about earlier this morning, just about decluttering your space and how that helps you declutter your mind. I love my crystals. I recently got this amethyst crystal, which just promotes well-being, positivity, a clear mind, good spirits, good vibes, all of that. I'm also into candles, as y'all can see right behind me, and just filling up my space with just a serene feeling. So let's always remember to stay positive. I forgot to give y'all a Black History fact too, and I did want to quickly acknowledge all my Boricuas. Did y'all know that on March 22nd, 1873, slavery was abolished in Puerto Rico? So shout out to all my Afro-Latinas. Happy Abolition Day. And I'm going to pass the ball to Ebony.
All right, so my positive thoughts would be work on being a better you. I think sometimes we focus on everybody else's happiness and we forget about ourselves. And at that point, when you really can't focus on yourself, you're hindering yourself of being the best person that you can possibly be. So even if it's taking 20 minutes out of your day to figure out what it is that you enjoy doing, what it is that you can improve on. If that's sitting down saying, you know what, I'm bad at business management, I'm bad at building my credit. Take 15 minutes out your day, go on Google, go on YouTube, figure out how to build your credit, how to start business credit. Um, I mean, it can be something simple. Just focus on being a better you, because at the end of the day, that's all you have is you. And I'm going to pass the ball to Portia.
Okay, thank you, Ebony and Tiara. So today is Monday, March 22nd. We're still in Women's History Month. And I just want to take the time to acknowledge this special gift that I received. And I have to think hard on who gave it to me, but it was very thoughtful. And it basically just says dream. And these are cards that says, take a chance, follow your dreams, and live the life you imagine. So I opened it up yesterday, and it's supposed to be a positive thought or dream cards on every single card. And so I opened it up and I looked at them all, and I'm like, they're all the same until you actually pop open. I'm gonna show y'all. Pop open the message that's inside, and y'all can't see it. But this one says, and it's so indicative of me about to throw these cards away because I'm like, they're all the same. It doesn't say anything until I look just a little further. And so the message on the card, the first card that I opened up was, go as far as you can see. When you get there, you'll be able to see farther. And that's definitely what happened with these cards. I went as far as I could see, and then I started playing around with them, and they actually pop open. You can see that, and then it pops open for the actual message. I don't know if y'all can see that, but anyway, the message, this is a quote from JP Morgan. Of course, he is the founder of JP Morgan Chase. But it says, go as far as you can see. When you get there, you'll be able to see farther. And I implore everyone to do just that today. And I'm going to pass the ball over to the first King James for some very positive thoughts of the day that do not include and
That's
or
enough. That's enough.
involve
That's
me.
enough. That's enough. That's enough. Okay, thank you. Oh
Thank
my God, positive
you.
thoughts supposed to be 30 seconds. But anyway, before we go, I just wanted to go ahead and give shout outs to our predecessors, our leaders, and our ancestors. 100 years ago, a man from Jamaica started the greatest mass movement of Black people in American history. His name was Marcus Garvey, and the United Negro Improvement Association gathered the largest collection of Black people towards self-improvement that has ever been seen in this country. So I want to give flowers to Marcus Garvey. Also, this year marks the 55th anniversary of the founding of the Black Panther Party in Oakland, California by Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale. It will be the 55th anniversary in October. So I just wanted to give shout outs to some of our predecessors who stepped out, sacrificed, tried to uplift the people. And you know what I'm saying? So I'm just eternally grateful for where you have helped us to go. I know that as that old saying, we have a long way to go. No, I just want to give thanks to the people who went and sacrificed and often died for us. And I think we should shout out to Marcus Garvey and the Black Panther Party. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, audience. This is Rolling Out AM Wake Up Call. Thank you for tuning in with Portia Monique, with Tiara, and with Ebony Austin, the owner of Nouveau. Go check out her restaurant. It is slamming. So thank you. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey, y'all.
And somebody call a doctor. I think that Portia's having a seizure, or is that you dancing?
Who your man?
I mean, you got to stop those 3-minute positive thoughts. When it's time for you to get off, get off. I don't want to go after her no more. I don't want to go after her no more. She took 5 minutes on her positive thoughts. Somebody need to stop it. The producer didn't do anything.
We gotta remain positive after positive thoughts, y'all.
I am positive. I'm trying to say for future shows, y'all get Portia in check. And please, somebody give her some dance instructions. I mean, because I'm thinking that she's having a domestic episode in our house because I don't know what she does. She's going like this. I mean, come on, that's not dancing.
Have a great Monday, y'all.
See y'all tomorrow.